When you, like I said, when you're going from the ground up, you're not meant to do business with just everybody. You get what I'm saying? So, girl, just discernment. I know it's like, well, what more? No, really just discernment and women's intuition. Yeah. Like, that's genuinely it.
Welcome to Sistervention, where we have the real and necessary conversations. I'm your host, Crystal Chanel, and your big sister you never knew you needed. Today's topic is well overdue. We are talking about Black women in wellness, but I have a very, very, very special guest, my good girl, Jharde Johnson. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much, Crystal, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I was trying to write out this episode probably gonna be real goofy
because we're ridiculous.
When we get together,
we're ridiculous.
Such a time. I have to give you a proper introduction, though. Jharde is not only my friend, but she is the best Pilates instructor in Atlanta, and I don't say that lightly. But she is the founder and business owner of Grnd Pilates. Welcome, Jharde.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Thanks for the intro, girl. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I had to have you come on the podcast because, you know, not only has it been such a grind, no pun intended, that is literally the whole basis of her brand, which we'll get into in a second. But, you know, I want to make sure that everyone watching understands that wellness is not a trend. For Black women, it is a necessity.
It's a lifestyle.
Okay.
It's a lifestyle, for sure.
So, of course, tell us a little about yourself. Tell us about the brand and how you got into Grnd Pilates.
Okay, girl. Okay, so let me just start off by saying it has been a journey, a beautiful journey nonetheless.
Of course.
But we're about to go into our 4 years of business. So next month we will hit 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But Pilates has been something that I've been practicing personally for like 9 years. Okay. So my own personal practice. It wasn't until the pandemic hit and we were living in LA together. Yes, we go way back, y'all. Way back. Okay. But when we were living in LA, and I was actually furloughed from my job during that time. And I know you remember all of this, girl.
Yeah, COVID was quite a time.
It was quite a time. Now, LA, we were shut down for real. Everywhere else was still kind of open. So during that time, I went to, you know, practicing Pilates every now and then to like every single day. It was something that I fell back on to kind of keep me sane during those times because, you know, furlough's like, damn, we're about to get fired. Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? The world is really at a halt for a lot of people. So I started doing Pilates every day as like a safe haven and a safe space for me. During that time, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get certified. You know what I'm saying? So got certified, immediately started teaching online virtually because that's all we had during that time. So I started teaching virtually in LA, and it's so crazy because I'm from Atlanta. I actually moved back to Atlanta for my business. Now, was I ready to move from LA? Not quite, but God literally put it on my heart to, you need to bring your business back to Atlanta. It's a market that needs to be tapped into and build it from there. And I'm not gonna lie, like since I've been back in Atlanta, it's been an overflow of blessings.
Amen.
For my business. It's been a beautiful, beautiful journey. Now it's definitely like ups and flows to the journey. Nothing's easy. We're gonna get into it because I be fighting for my life, okay? Sometimes I really be fighting for my life, but nonetheless, it's been a beautiful journey.
It has.
Yeah.
And it's been a beautiful journey to watch. Jharde mentioned we used to live in LA together, and I never forget, we were working out. Okay, your girl was snatched. I'm not saying the world needs to shut back down, but I don't know. I ain't been that snatched since the pandemic.
Insane. Same.
But I had such a good time watching Jharde, and honestly, I never forget, she told me she's getting certified. She's like, you should get certified too. I was like, girl, that's not what God told me I needed to do, but I'm so grateful for you and this journey. We wanted to call it Inglewood Pilates.
We did.
I never forget.
We've come a long way, y'all. We've come a long way. But when I first started, I'm like, Chris, I want you to come on board and be a part of this. Like, I told her everywhere the plans for my business. And I'm like, yeah, I want you to come on board. But again, we were in LA during that time. We were like, okay, let's just think of some quick names. Like, let's just think of some. We went from Inglewood Pilates to like, nonetheless, I'm so thankful for growth because.
I'm so thankful for Grnd being the final name. I was so like, the name was so hard too. And I want to talk about
us out.
The name. Because I remember we thought about Inglewood Pilates, and then surprisingly, her name's Jharde Chanel Johnson. My name is Crystal Chanel Johnson. I'm like, oh my God, there's some synergies there, but it can't be called Chanel Johnson Pilates. Like, what is this name gonna be? I love the name Grnd because honestly, everything about your business has been such a grind. Tell us, what is the inspiration behind the name Grnd?
The name. Okay, so it's actually hilarious how it came about. So the name was something I was really struggling with, right? Like I was going through a list of different names and nothing was really hitting home for me. So my best friend, shout out to Tiffany. We
love Tiffany.
Love Tiffany. We had a little brainstorm session, and during that session, I'm like, I want it to, Pilates is like this, people view it as this very soft and very just like cutesy modality. And granted, it can be cutesy. I feel like that's the picture that they paint of it, but it's very intense and it's very hard. You get what I'm saying? So even before I even started like Pilates, I've always strength trained. I've always, was a runner. Wellness is truly a lifestyle for me. It's not like a trend. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand.
So when we were thinking about the names, I'm just like, I'm about to embark on this journey. God is telling me, he's leading me in this direction, telling me to build this business up. The vision is very, very, very clear for where we're going with Grnd Pilates. But the name, it was just like, I needed to hit home. So I kept saying hustle. Like everything that was like coming to me was like hustle. And I'm like, hustle Pilates? I don't know. I don't really like that. Like, it's just like something about the grind, something about the hustle. And then like I said, my best friend, she was like, what about Grnd Pilates? So then we started writing things out. She was like, but let's take out the I. So once she took out the I said, girl, that's it. That's it, because it truly does. The name in itself embodies everything that we're about. And girl, it's layers to this as well, because like I said, the journey isn't linear. It's very complex. When you're building something from the ground up, it can be very, very tough and very, very hard. You have to stay locked into the grind. But also I feel like we're in like hustle culture too. You know what I'm saying? Like grind culture, hustle culture. So a cute little thing I like to add to my business, and it's even with my community, I always allow them, yes, we're grinding. Yes, we're out here going and chasing our dreams and everything that we want to accomplish in life, right? But also give yourself grace along the journey. You know what I'm saying? Grind and grace.
Grind and grace.
Hello?
Okay.
That's where we're at with it. But yeah, that's how it came about.
You touched on so many things. I want to get into a lot of them. The first one is, Grnd is such a community. And you mentioned moving back to Atlanta. I think that is so important because sometimes, it's the timing of your life. Sometimes it's the alignment physically of where you need to be. And there is no other place that this business would have thrived the way it is currently thriving than in Atlanta. And for those who don't know, I know a lot of y'all are just meeting Jharde, but she's Atlanta down, okay?
I am Atlanta as it comes, okay? Atlanta, I miss Atlanta, okay? Miss East Atlanta to be exact.
When she was in LA, it was always about Atlanta. So, just seeing you make that decision, and we all made really tough decisions. I went back home as well to New York in that time. And I just remember we were both like, we going back home. She's like, for real? And it was like, girl, yes. Okay, we get back about LA. You built such a beautiful community. And as I'm building Sistervention, it's something that, we talk about all the time, that the community is so important because that is the foundation that your business is going to stand on, right? You'll have, especially when you're in a business like yours, where you may have drop-ins, you may have one-time customers, then a lot of your business is repeat customers.
Exactly.
It's very different, when you have a business that's just like a revolving door. But when you're doing something like fitness and you want people to go on the journey with you in their own personal journey, their own grind. If you've ever been to one of Jharde's classes, we be fighting for our lives in there, okay?
True.
Grown men fight for their lives.
Very much
Jharde's.
facts.
Don't let that cute face fool you, okay?
Very much
She'll be like, 1, 2. 2. Come on, you guys got it.
2.
Girl, what is 3?
Oh my God,
so
facts.
Your classes are so great. I think the name is so perfect because it is such a grind. The community you have built has been massive. I mean,
thank you.
My girl got Atlanta on lock, okay? She doing it for the city.
Period.
We always joke about that, but she really is doing it for the city. And I love it so much. If you cannot tell, I'm just so excited to be here with my friend because not only, do we talk about the grind in our careers, but just the grind of everyday life. Because at the end of the day, we are just girls, okay?
We are just girls. We are just girls.
It is so much. So I want to talk about just Black women in the wellness space in general and balancing it all. Do you feel like there's a lack of access for Black women in wellness?
Absolutely. And you know what? That's such a, it's layers to that question as well, because yes, it is in the wellness industry, but when we get to the like specifically Pilates, absolutely. Like it's a huge lack of representation in the Pilates industry as far as like Black instructors. And I'm not even gonna say women instructors, but just Black instructors all around. So that's another reason why it's kind of like a driving force behind my business. Like being able to create a space that's accessible to our community has been a huge part of our business. And also just representation, like you going into a space and seeing someone who looks like you and you can relate to. You get what I'm saying? So it's honestly, truly, like I said, I've been practicing for 9 years. When I was first started going to Pilates and all the things, I would go into these spaces and I was literally the only Black person. When I say the only, I'm talking about from clientele to instructors to studio owners. It was literally just me unless I'm dragging my friends with me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I was in a lot of these spaces, and also not just being the only Black person or person of color, but even outside of that, I felt like a lot of times I wasn't getting the attention that I deserved. In the classes. Like I said, Pilates is a very specific modality. Like you actually need to pay attention to your clientele. You get what I'm saying? You look away for 1 second, girl, my leg done flipped on over the leg strap. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so it's like you really have to pay attention. And I felt like it's been a few times I will walk into these spaces and I felt like I didn't receive that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to like me going back to Atlanta, building this business up, I'm like, yo, I really want to build a community that I did not have going into this industry. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, the lack of representation. Yes, it's not accessible to a lot of our people. Yes, it's just so many different factors that played a role into the driving force behind Grnd. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's a huge gap as far as like Black wellness instructors or just Black people in this wellness space in general. But when you get specifically to the Pilates industry, it shrinks even more. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I remember when we were in with Pilates, she was like, I want it in a Black neighborhood. Like that very was something that was for me. And obviously in Atlanta, everywhere it's pretty much Black. So, you know, anywhere you land will be great. But I remember that's always just been, you know, something really, really important to you, which I love, of course, because it's like, look, we do it for our people, okay? If we don't do it for ourselves, who will? But yeah, I just love that so much. And, you know, this grind is not easy.
It is not, girl. It is not. I will call Crystal real quick when I'm about to jump off a cliff. I'm like, Crystal! But yes, it's not easy at all.
And honestly, same. Jharde experienced a little bit of a crash out from me this week. And honestly, I'm just like the most dramatic person ever in general. So it's like that mixed with a little bit of crash out. It can get a little crazy, but, you know, I wanted to bring you on here because I wanted to talk about the sisterhood and entrepreneurship because we have countless conversations about this. And obviously, we support each other, but the journey is lonely, okay?
It absolutely
The journey is lonely, and when you're building something that no one else was called to do, and I've talked about this on other episodes before, it just can feel very, very isolating. So in this season, what would you say is one word to describe your journey currently?
Grace.
Okay.
That is the word, girl. That is the word. I can't even think of a better word that relates more to this season that I'm in right now. Grace. Girl, grace. Oh my God. Like, it's just so funny because I have to remind myself. It's like, okay, so you're in the midst, like I said, the ups and flows of entrepreneurship. You're literally building something from the ground up. I don't have a blueprint to what I'm building. You get what I'm saying? Yes, it's Pilates communities out there, it's studios, all these different things, but what I'm building is completely different. You get what I'm saying? I don't have a playbook that I'm following. So it's just like, I know a lot of people say like, it's easier said than done, but you know, like walk by faith and not by sight. You get what I'm saying? So many people say that, but it's just like, are you guys really living that?
Right, it's very hard.
It is so hard, and it's completely different when you're literally walking out here on just faith, completely blind and trusting God. Because yes, He gave you this vision, He made it crystal clear, and it's like we get lost sometimes in the everyday grind of everything, the everyday hustle of everything, like building something. Like, you know, you get so caught up in the thickness of building an empire that you really have to take a step back and look around where you're at and be like, no, you're doing a damn good job, girl. Like, you're doing a good job.
Girl.
You're doing a good job. But you have to. So it's like this season is definitely grace, because when I look back, take a step back and look back on my journey and how far I've come.
Yeah, look what you've built so far.
It's been beautiful. And I feel like God has a beautiful way as well as reminding you while you're on your journey, whether it comes in the clients may say certain things to you. You get what I'm saying? You may cross paths with specific people in your journey, but God has a way of reminding you that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. But grace is the word, though.
Exactly.
Grace is the word.
And at the time you need it.
And right at the time, it's usually right before a crash out.
I had a few of those this week, and then God was
right before it crash out.
Like, oh, great. You know, gave me a sign to keep not jump off the bridge. No, but you know, it's so funny because I called my friend this week and I told him, I said, I just feel like Noah building an ark and there is no rain in sight, but I know the rain is coming and the rain is my vision that God told me. And I'm just like, everyone around me kind of gets it. They're like, okay, she's building an ark. They understand that I'm building an ark. They don't really know why I'm building such a big ark, why it's taking me so long to build said ark. They don't see the rain. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is literally crazy. So then I made a TikTok and I was like, you know, if you want to have big dreams, you got to have crazy faith. And I had just
and be as delusional as possible.
Yes.
You got to stay delusional. You have to.
It's crazy. And like, I had all these, you know, just revelations. And it's like, okay, you get on here every week and you preach all these things, but yet sometimes I got to go back and listen to my own episodes because it gets so crazy with entrepreneurship. Like, you be like, am I crazy? Because I know that I'm supposed to be doing this, but like, are you sure, Lord? Like, are you sure? So I want to talk about this as well, because I feel like me and you talk about this all the time. And honestly, y'all are just invited into our FaceTime.
So basically, this is a big just FaceTime call, okay? So welcome, you guys.
Welcome to our FaceTime call. We are so happy to have you. But you know, the faith that it takes to keep on going. And I know that you're someone who's, you know, very serious about your faith. Me as well. It's something that we connect on all the time. You know, in those moments of doubt and discouragement and when the grind is just grinding, you know, what do you do?
You know, I had a similar conversation last week with someone, and they were saying, like, Jharde, do you think you will be able to, like, tell your journey to others without mentioning God? Like
why?
Like, no.
Right. Why would I do that?
Like, no, he's such a huge part of my journey. Like, this journey, you know, people have like dreams and goals, and then, you know, God will give you visions, whatever the divine purpose that he has over your life. But when it's a divine purpose and it's from him, you're going to know. So it's going to always hit a little different. You get what I'm saying? Because when he presents it to you, he's also going to present it in a very clear way. So he's going to make that vision extremely clear. So it's like, this is how I stay motivated, girl. Cause like I said, my faith is so strong, and I know, again, it's divine purpose over my life. I'm looking like at the big picture, right? Like crystal clear vision. Like, this is what we're doing. All of those steps in between, I don't have a clue.
Right.
Of what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm figuring this out as I go. But what keeps me going and keeps me motivated is truly, girl, my faith. I just fall to my knees and pray when I need to. And I just know that God wouldn't give me this huge vision and not provide.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's just like, I feel like strengthening. I mean, I've always believed in God. I've always, you know, gone to church as a kid. I grew up in the church. You get what I'm saying? But as you get older, you have your own separate personal walk with God. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like when it's divine purpose over your life, your journey, yes, it's the ebbs and flows of your journey and building an empire from the ground up. But at the same time, that journey is also meant to bring you closer to God. You get what I'm saying? So, girl, just falling to my knees and praying and just like knowing and trusting and believing that, you know, he has me because there's no way you would have given me this huge vision and just left me right here with nothing. You get what I'm saying? So yes, I'm figuring it out as I go, but he definitely does provide. And then I have to also remind myself, I truly am that girl. Like, as you know, I don't even know how that sounds, you know what I'm saying? But I truly am that girl. Like, it's when it comes to women, and cheers to you too, because we talk about this often, but like, shout out to the women that are doing exactly what they say they're going to do, and they're not letting the in-betweens or whatever of life get in the way of that. Like, they're truly finding a way, even if they don't have an answer. And I'm just kind of built that way. You get what I'm saying? So
I think you got to be built that way.
You have to be. You have to have thick skin. You have to really trust the process. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, girl, like outside of my faith, I just remind myself that, girl, you're doing a good job. Yes. And you're just that girl, and keep pushing and keep pushing. And like I said, again, right before a crash out, God always says, He always says a sweet reminder that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And I can say, along this journey, we've been building this for 4 years. Every time I get to a crossroad where I'm just like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, like I feel stuck. Something always happens swiftly and beautifully. And it's always a sweet reminder. And like I said, it comes in many different forms. So yeah, girl, that's what keeps me going.
Yes, I love that. And you know, the ebbs and flows are so real. And I just know that the vision that only you know, even I can feel it, I can see it. When you explain it to me, like I know it's not exactly how, you know, God has given it to you, but I think that when you're able to share your vision and you're able to find people along the way to help you and motivate you and encourage you, it's just all the signs that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I just do not believe in a bunch of resistance, right? Like things are going to happen, but when you're truly in alignment, the opportunities flow. Like you'll find, we always talk about you finding a space and open up a studio and it'll be like, I got an investor. I found a place. I'm like, this stuff is always going to happen, Jharde.
It literally just falls into your lap. It's like,
but I think it's very important to have discernment and understand, because when you got it going on, okay, opportunities are always going to come your way, right? And I think a lot of times some opportunities can be distractions, right? So how do you use your discernment? And what are the ways that you are making sure that things are like properly aligned? Obviously, we know you're going to pray about them, but you know, what are some things in business that you've learned that you just really need to like look out for or just be mindful of?
So it's so funny that you brought this up, because yes, I feel like if people who aren't necessarily clear on their vision, opportunities can be distractions. You get what I'm saying? That is a big thing and a very true thing. So yes, discernment plays a huge role when I do business with people, but I feel like, and also women's intuition. I know that may sound like however it may sound to the rest of the world, but women, we have to trust our intuition. You get what I'm saying? Like if somebody wants to come on board and, you know, help you in whichever way, build your empire, build your business up, just be mindful of the conversations that you guys have and if it aligns. You get what I'm saying? Right. And I feel like it's kind of, you can tell kind of quickly.
I think if you have discernment,
discernment, you can tell kind of quickly if you guys, if it aligns or not, because you're not meant to, when you're, like I said, when you're going from the ground up, you're not meant to do business with just everybody. You get what I'm saying? So girl, just discernment. I know it's like, well, what more? No, really just discernment and women's intuition. Like that's genuinely it.
Yeah. I think it's so funny because I tell Jharde all the time, I'll be like, did you ask this? Did you ask this? Yeah. You know, I always like, you know, I'm like always trying to like help her because it's just so easy. Like when you really are building something great, people will come out the woodworks, and I've just watched you grow, and I've watched all these opportunities, you know, fall in your lap and come together and come and go and all the things. And it's just like, I believe in sisterhood and entrepreneurship so much. And like, although this episode is about wellness, it's also about the sisterhood and like showing up for each other. Absolutely. And that's exactly why this podcast was created, right? Absolutely. Like it's to change the way we show up for each other, because it's not always just, I remember you had an event for your, what was that, 2-year anniversary or 3?
2 years.
That was 2 year. And I just remember like all her friends were there and like she had so much support, and I was just like, wow. Like if I were to have an event right now, oh, I don't know. In that season of my life,
I mean, I would come. Hello.
You know, in that season of my life, it was a little rocky. I wasn't sure who would be there. But you know, I admired that, and I knew that that was something I really wanted, right? And I've always had a lot of friends, but I think there's difference when you have friends and you have sisters who really support, right? And although you have all these people, the journey is still lonely, guys. Okay,
because it very much is.
These people are not here with you 24/7.
Exactly.
They don't help you program, you know, your fitness routines. I don't know why I call them routines, but you know,
classes, sessions, privates.
They don't help you, you know, program those. They're not doing the marketing with you. You know, they're not in the thick of it, in the grind. But I think it's so important to have like good counsel where you can, you know, even if it's just to stop the crash out like you this week. You're like, girl, it's going to be fine. Or it's like, girl, did you ask the investor this, is this, you know, or the finances? You know, I think using the people around you that you have is so important, and really just being able to be comfortable asking for help and letting people help you. Because sometimes you just want to do it all. And it's like, baby, you're going to be tired.
And you can't. You cannot. You literally cannot do it all. And that's so crazy. But yeah, you literally cannot do it all. But you know, another thing that you said when it comes to like your circle and your friendships, and like the women that you have, or just friends in general, you know, that you have in your, I can say I have been extremely blessed, okay, in that department, because I've literally have a circle, a village surrounding me that literally puts Grnd Pilates on their backs as if it was their own. And that, you know, I'm forever just grateful for. But yeah, whenever, if I need something, call them up and they are there to help me. What you need, girl? Like, this is perfect. Yeah,
which is so important because honestly, like we said, you cannot do it alone.
You can't.
And when you're building something, it's very hard to afford a team, right? Like, you think you can hire all these people all quick. And also, I think what people fail to realize is like, you have to manage these people. It's not only like, okay, yeah, they're here to help you, but now you have to tell them what to do. So a lot of times, especially when you're high functioning like us, and, you know, you're type A Black girls, you're like, listen, I will just do it myself because by the time I explained it to you, it could have already been done.
It could have been done, exactly.
I think, you know, but when you are trying to get to that next level, those are the challenges, right? Those are the challenges. And I think, you know, with you about to open up your studio and just getting to that new level, new devil, right? More things just come in. True. And just distract and destroy, and you know, your dreams that you thought you had, this was going to go through, it doesn't. But then obviously something better's coming along.
Hello. Trust the process.
You have to trust the process and also trust the pause, because sometimes it just ain't the season.
Okay.
I need everybody to go back and listen to the episode. Trust the pause. These episodes are always going to intertwine, okay? But no, I think it's so important to just trust the pause. But I want to get back into wellness for a little bit. I know you've been practicing Pilates for 9 years. You've always been a fitness girly. What is one piece of advice for someone who is looking to just get started? They are, you know, feeling a little down and out. It's hard to get sometimes, you know. I know you always been a fitness girl, but some of us ain't. We haven't always been there. Yeah. So what would you say is just like a good way to just get off the couch and go?
Girl, just start, okay? Like, just start, okay? Like, that is the biggest. I feel like when people are just starting off, and that goes for fitness, that goes for business, that goes for everything. Like, just starting is like the hardest thing for so many people. And it's just like, I don't know, my mentality with that, but I'm a little different. You get what I'm saying? Like, how I look at things is just like, girl, shut up, figure it out, start, and figure it out as you go type thing. But just starting, like, just don't think about it too much. Literally do not, if you can, literally don't think about it at all and just go. And then from there you'll build, and there you'll figure it out, and there you'll grow, and there you know what I'm saying? Like, you figure it out as you go. But just start.
Why do you feel like you're built that way?
Girl, it's just my family. Like, I literally think it's like in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think it's in my DNA. I come from a family of just, they are a family of finding a way. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't really do too many excuses. Too many of any of those things. It's just like, no, find a way. Like, yes, if you want to take a moment and like kind of sulk in this and just, you know, because life is always gonna life, right?
100%.
Life is always gonna life. Like, literally it's always gonna life. But it's just like, okay, life is hitting you hard right now. Okay, if you need to take a step back and just, because I'm also big in just feeling all of the feels and then moving on. Give yourself grace. Feel all the feels and then move on, but you have to move on. You get what I'm saying? You can't stay in whatever life just threw your way. Figure it out. Keep it going. Girl's just in my DNA. Like, I really, because I know it's easier said than done, but I really am like the queen of finding a way. Like, and another thing too, you can't be afraid of failure. You get what I'm saying? I feel like so many people, and that goes along with just starting. I know I'm kind of talking in circles a little bit, but the same thing when it's just like, what's the advice that you would give somebody just starting out? One, just starting, and don't be afraid to fail. Because I don't look at failure as failure. I feel like you either win or you learn. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Failure's just practice. Like, that's all that it is. It's doing nothing but thickening your skin. Okay, you get a no from this person. Keep it moving, keep it pushing until you get that yes, because that yes will come, and it will come in on a larger level, on a larger scale. So it's just like, find a way. Find a way. And I feel like you're similar in the sense of when it comes to excuses, you're not a woman of excuses.
Oh, no, baby.
No, at all.
Standing on it at all times.
10 toes standing on it. And even vice versa, I learn a lot from you in that department because, yes, I do. I feel like we think very similar when it comes to business. But I'm not even going to hold you, Crystal. I've never met a woman who don't even budge, okay? You are 10 toes in, and I feel like I'm 10 toes in it. I mean, I may like sway a little bit, but you do not budge. Like, and I'm like, that's so admirable. Like, I give you your flowers for that. It absolutely is. It's like me on the side taking notes. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I can be moved a little bit, but I don't switch up, you know?
Yeah, I don't move on things because I just love someone who says and does what they say they're gonna do. Like, I didn't want, like, you didn't have to tell me that. That was unprovoked. Nobody asked you. So if you tell me something, I need you to do it. I'm gonna hold you accountable to do said thing. And I realize that rubs people the wrong way.
Because people aren't ready to elevate. That's all that it is.
Not. And we talk about this all the time, like, we like to be around people who are elevating, and you don't have to be elevating at the same time as us. You don't have to be elevating at the same pace, doing the same thing. But baby, just elevate, please. Just
absolutely, absolutely.
Come on up. You know, obviously, with you growing your business, relationships change. You know, we talk about dating and being an entrepreneur. It just gets really, really tough. Do you feel like there are people you've had to leave behind on this journey?
Yes. Are we talking about like friends? Are we talking about personal? Yes. I do feel like it's been... Welcome to our FaceTime, okay? So, yes, there are people that I feel like I've had to leave behind on my journey. And these are more so personal relationships. I do feel like my friends fully understand where I'm going, and they understand, like, listen, keep Jharde delusional, okay? Like, I like to be up here with what I got going on. I don't ever want to be brought back down to earth, right? And my friends respect that, and they give me grace with that. So sometimes I may not be able to show up in everything. I do feel like I show up for the people in my life. Now, do I feel like I could do a better job? Yes, I have seasons where I'm all the way there, and I have some seasons where I'm just not there. You get what I'm saying? But again, it's the ebbs and flows of like entrepreneurship. Like, it can be a lot. And it can be a lot on your mental as well. You know what I mean? But when it comes to have I had to leave anybody behind? Yes, I've had. Yes, I have. But it's been more on a personal side of my life. I'm gonna need you to understand where I'm going, baby. And if you don't, you got to go. And no hard feelings, no anything. I feel like, again, it's all a part of the journey. But I know when it comes to dating specifically, it's like, I'm building an empire. I want a partner who is able to come on board and alleviate some of the things that I have going on. You get what I'm saying? Let's team up and let's do this together, you know?
Right.
And now, I can't speak for men per se. I can only speak for women. But a lot of men are taken back sometimes by women who really are like trying to be bosses and really are building empires and really are like going after their dreams and what they're building and building it from the ground up. I don't know if it's like an intimidation thing or it's just like they just kind of feel like she would not be able to submit to me. Like, I don't know. It's layered. You get what I'm saying? It's very complex. But I just feel like ultimately I just haven't met my partner along this journey that just gets it.
Right.
For me.
Right. For sure. And I think, you know, this journey is going to bring new people, right? It's going to bring a new you. And I think who you were when you started this journey and who you're becoming is so different that a lot of times we can't see it immediately, but that person just don't need to be there, right? Whether friends or dating or whatever, I think a lot of times, you know, you grieve the old you sometimes subconsciously, right? Because it was all you know, and the unknown, you know who you want to be, but like the process of becoming who you want to be is really the secret sauce, right? Like, that is where I have found that I need to spend and rest and like enjoy because, well, baby, once you get there, it's kind of done, right?
Yeah.
And someone told me a long time ago, you never want to peak too early. And I think when you're on this constant grind, your friendships, your personal relationships.
It's character building.
Yeah. You're becoming this person that you ultimately want to be, but it's like, that's always constantly changing. It's always evolving. And to your point, it can take a toll on your mental, right? Because just dealing with so much at one time, especially as women, we have emotions, we have feelings, we got PMS. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And even still, like I said, with the whole, and another thing, as you're building, like time is of the essence. You get what I'm saying? We're busy. So it's just like, I do think, again, my circle gets it. They understand that. Like when I'm actually making time for things, it's because I genuinely do love you guys and I want to make time. You get what I'm saying? But do I have all the time in the world? No. And they get that. You get what I'm saying?
And she will let you know, okay?
And they understand that. So even as far as dating goes, it's just one of those things where it's just like I kind of have to be locked in with you on the same page, very intentional for me to actually make that time because, again, time is of the essence when you're building an empire. So, yeah.
One thing, you know, you are proud of me for always standing 10 toes down, but I really do respect the fact that you have very firm boundaries about your time. When I first became friends with Jharde, it was a little bit like, I was a little thrown off, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I've lived many lives.
But only because like I am someone who will always make time. Like I will absolutely stress myself out, pull myself in 12 different directions to show up. It is something that I just take pride in, but it is also something that has left me burnt out. It has left me feeling like I was not appreciated. And, you know, I respect that so much about you because I'm like, one thing about Jharde, she might not be there.
No is a no. But I will let you know.
Like it is definitely a complete sentence for you. And, you know, I think in this life, trying to build what you build is so important to actually have boundaries and stand on them, especially when it comes to how you're showing up and who you're showing up for. So shout outs to you, girl.
Thanks, girlfriend. I appreciate that.
I love that. And, you know, we talked about the mental health of it all, right? Because as an entrepreneur, maybe the mental health be in the toilet sometimes.
It really does. It really does.
Outside of working out, because I'm sure that's a big way for you to just really keep your mental health insane. What are some things that you do to keep your mental health intact?
Therapy. Okay, so I made it a point to actually start therapy this year, and it has been beautiful for me. I'm not gonna hold you. It's been absolutely beautiful. It's like, again, a big point just because we are all over the place as entrepreneurs, and I mean all over the place. So even for me, yes, I have like my own practice. Yes, I teach Pilates, all these things. But you even know for the past few months, I've kind of put my own personal practice on a back burner just to show up for my community. You get what I'm saying? I kind of went through like a weird season to where it's like, and I strength train as well. So it's like, I just kind of had to put my own personal, me working out, going to the gym, me having my own personal Pilates time. It's just, I had to kind of put that on the back burner for the past few months. Coming into this year, my therapist, she was like, Jar, you need to set, the same way you set these hard boundaries around a few other things in your life, you have to set hard boundaries for your own personal, basically sanity. You get what I'm saying? Your own personal peace. So a few things that I've done. Well, I have been back locked in. So I've been back to getting up super early. Like I'm a 5 a.m. gym girly now. I'll do Pilates right after that. But also carving out time to have slow mornings. That has been a game changer for me. When I say game changer, I'm like, girl, why haven't I been doing this whole time?
And look, I did not tell her to say that. If you watched episode 1, what did I say was in for 2025?
Listen, slow mornings will change your entire day, your entire mindset, your mood, just how your day just flows. Like it just changes everything. So as far as what I've been doing to kind of keep myself sane, getting up early, like I said, getting my workouts in super, super early, having my slow mornings, preparing breakfast, and doing all the things. But yeah, that's been great for me. It's been working.
I love that. Well, I want to get into my favorite part of the episode.
Let's go.
All right. It's our sister vent, and I'm going to let you pick it this week.
Okay.
So, you know, I love putting my guests on the spot for this.
Okay, and I feel real on the spot right now, but I'm
whatever
listening.
was the first thing that came to your mind when I said the word vent, that's what we talking about today.
Wow. Okay. The first thing that came to my mind? Well, actually, it's not even anything crazy, friend. I'm just so proud of you. Like, that's literally what came to my mind. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm just so proud of you. And it's just like, the women in my life, it's just like I have to constantly just like thank God for. You get what I'm saying? You're definitely one of the women in my life that I'm so thankful for. But just in general, behind every strong woman is a group of more strong women. You get what I'm saying? Like, we truly are a village. Like, we genuinely need each other. That's honestly what I was thinking about when you said it wasn't even that super, super crazy. I wish it was a little bit more crazy, but that's literally what was on my mind in that moment. I'm just very much proud of you.
Oh, I love that. No, I honestly, like, we've been friends for a long time, but I feel like, you know, over these last few years, our relationship has gotten so much closer. And, you know, outside of entrepreneurship, just like the daily life of being able to do life together and both be going in a direction that, you know, we feel like is God-given has been so powerful. I tell my sister all the time, I'm like, you know, I love Jharde, and she's become one of my closest friends. You know, and even you flying in today, y'all, crazy getting here.
We're going to talk about it another episode, okay? But nothing but God. We made it right on time, but barely because, it was crazy.
You know, I think that, as I mentioned before, I really do love to show up for others. And, you know, to see that being reciprocated in a friendship is so, so nice. You know, so I love that. And, you know, one thing about you, and obviously our sister event is just a whole love session of how much we love each other. So you're welcome. But, you know, one thing I love about you too, and I feel like I'm very similar in this way, is like, I don't really care what other people are doing. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's some people who will just like look and be like, oh, well, this person's doing this and this person's doing this. And like, that's kind of how they like figure out what they're going to do. And we're just not those people. Like, I actually would prefer you to never tell me what anyone else who has a podcast is doing. Like, and obviously it's good to do like market research and stuff, but like, I just know for a fact that like what I'm doing up here, it's so hard to explain because it's like, no one really gets it because it's just all up here.
It's not
but I'm just like, I love the fact that, you know, there's so many Pilates girlies in Atlanta and they're all Black because, you know, I'm not gonna say they're all Black, but majority of them are Black.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So like, even though there is a lack of representation in the space, in Atlanta, not necessarily, right?
Yes. Well, here's the thing. More than other places, yes. But also, you have to keep in mind, Pilates is having a moment right now. You get what I'm saying? It's been around forever, but it is having a moment. It's having a wave. You know,
think it's because of Lori Harvey?
Not specifically of her, but I mean, I ain't gonna say she put it all the way on the map, but she kind of blew it up a little bit too. You get what I'm saying? But it's definitely having a moment. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's the hot thing to do and everybody wants to see, you know, what it's about. But again, it's more than just a trend. Pilates is genuinely a lifestyle. Yeah. Genuinely a lifestyle. But it is a lot of us in Atlanta. Again, but you know, I don't really see, baby, I just see my own lane, baby, okay? Like, I don't see anything else. And then a lot of people think that, you know, oh, well, you know, she's doing this, she's doing that, we're all doing the same thing. First of all, every industry is
oversaturated. Every single one.
You get what I'm saying? But you have to know that if it's a God purpose that he put over you in your dreams that you're building, he gave that to you, baby. He didn't give that to Keisha, Letitia, Brittany, Brandy. You get what I'm saying? He gave it to you. So you need to stay focused on that specifically, what you and God got going on, and building that vision and bringing it to fruition. But no, girl,
see anybody.
I don't see anybody. Like, yes, market research, but I really don't see anybody.
It's really just that. Like, for me, it's just market research and that's it. Because I'm like, they just do not have the vision that I got from God.
Exactly. It's different. But it's still enough room for all of us. That's the thing. 100%. So many people think that, oh my God, you know, it takes away from me. It does not take away from anything.
Everyone's so different, but I think that's why a personal brand is so important because that is going to be what differentiates you from everybody else. It's like, if I listen to everyone be like, oh my God, everyone has a podcast, like, when y'all start talking about taking away all the...
You would never start.
Take away all the podcast bags. I'm like, baby, don't take mine. I just got it. Okay?
You would never start.
I'm here to stay because I have things to say and I feel like I have a community to reach and build and to make a difference in this world. And I think anyone who's watching this right now, if you're an entrepreneur or you're thinking about building something, even if you just want to build a social club, whatever it is, do not think that there's not enough room for you, especially if God gave you this vision because there is room for all of us. But yeah, I love the fact that, you know, because we could talk about, you know, competition and Black women, all those things, but I'm
it's never that.
You want it to be a thing.
But it's not.
Could not be a thing.
Exactly.
And you can just do your own thing, and again, you can see what
collaborate.
I was going to say that next. You can see what other people are doing and partner up with those people. It's not she's doing this and I'm doing that. It's like, okay, well, all the Pilates girls get together and do a Pilates conference.
And here's the thing: I absolutely love seeing all these Black people teaching Pilates now. Like, I love it. Again, something that I did not see when I started off. So it's not. I don't see what other people have going on as competition. I really see it as a beautiful thing. I've been in this industry for a very long time. You get what I'm saying? It's only up until now that it's starting to be a shift. Do you get what I'm saying? Like where you actually are starting to see us. Now, yes, Atlanta, you're going to see more of us, but you get what I'm saying? It's been a shift in the Pilates industry and we're shaking things up and I love that.
I love that too. And I love the fact that Pilates is such a, portrayed as a soft life girly thing, and then you're like, and we on grind. It's such an opposite of what I think people think of when they think of Pilates. So I encourage you guys to check out Jharde's socials. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on really all handles, Instagram, TikTok, all the things at Grnd Pilates, but no I. So Grnd Pilates. And our website as well, grindpilates.com.
Yes, I highly encourage you, if you're in Atlanta, definitely check out a class with Jharde. She does an ab challenge, which is absolutely amazing. I'm waiting for it to come out this summer so you girlies can get ready, get it right, get it tight, because summer is coming. But outside of just the grind, the daily grind of life and just being a girl and sisterhood, I hope you guys have been inspired by this conversation. Jharde, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, friend, for flying in and doing this episode fresh off the plane.
Okay, fresh off the plane. But no, thank you for having me, Crystal. I am so proud of you. Sistervention is amazing. I've been listening to all the episodes.
Thank you. Everybody go watch.
Hello. And again, like I said, when God gives you a God vision, a God dream, a God's plan, it hits different, baby. You were made for this.
Thank you. I think this episode's going to have to be like God and Grind or something like that.
God and Grind and Grace. You get what I'm saying?
And Grace.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. Until next time, I'm your host and favorite big sister, Crystal Chanel. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.